Hi everyone, this video is an easy to use EFT tutorial. At the end of this video you should be able to understand what exactly EFT is and also how to apply it to everyday simple emotional and physical problems. So please do stay till the end where I will run through a really simple EFT demonstration. Now, what is EFT and what does it stand for? EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, and some people know it as EFT tapping or just plain old tapping. It was developed in the 1990s by someone called Gary Craig, and it's based on ancient Chinese medicine and also combines modern psychology tools. And in EFT, what we do is we tap on the surface of the skin around specific acupressure points and around the face and on the hands while thinking about a specific problem. Now you might be wondering why and how EFT helps. When you think about a problem, you activate an area in the brain called the amygdala, which is responsible for a fight-flight response. So when you tap on these specific meridian points around the body, you help to deactivate it or neutralise how you feel about that problem, and that also includes physical pain. So now I'm going to talk about the tapping points and exactly where they are. So the first thing we do is we tap on the side of hand, and it's a really good idea to use the flat of your other hand just to make sure that you do get the acupressure point. And we tap about 15 times. We always say a setup statement, and we'll go into more of that nearer the end of the video when I do a demonstration. So just like that, you don't need to tap it too heavily, just enough that you can feel it. So this is the side of hand. Then we go to the inside of the eye, just here where the hair of the eyebrow ends and your nose begins, just here. If you tap with two fingers like that, then you will be sure to get that point. So we tap that about 5 to 7 times. You can't do it wrong, so if you go more or less, it doesn't matter. Then we go to the side of the eye, like that. So it's just here at the end of the eyebrow, there's a bony bit there, and you just use a couple of fingers just to tap like that. And then under your eye, so where your pupil is, directly under, there's a bony bit again here, and again just tap with a couple of fingers here like this, and you'll be sure to get it. And then we go to under the nose, so I tap right in, there we go. Again, 5 to 7 times is enough. And then just under here, under the lip, there's a little bit that goes in here where your chin bit is, just right in there. And it's fine to use one finger because it's just a little small area. Then we go to the collarbone point after that. So where your collarbone point is, it's just here, isn't it? So you go down an inch and then just out by an inch like that. And I use 3 to 4 fingers just to make sure I hit that point, and it's a particularly nice feeling point. It's really good for de-stressing. I love this point, it's one of my favourites. Then we go to under the arm, and I use the flat of the hand to make sure I get it. So just here, about an inch down from the armpit, like that. And again, 5 to 7 times. And then we go to the top of the head, just here, the crown. And we tap like this. Excellent. Now and then, I will use the points on the hand, although at the end of the demonstration I won't be using the hand points, but I'm going to show you anyway. So when we go to the hand, we use the fingers. So we go to the outside of the thumb and we just tap on the edge of the nail right here, if you can see. Just tap with one finger. And then go to the next finger. And then we go to the next finger. We skip this one. And then we go to this one. And then there's another point here called the 9 gamut point. And the reason why we skipped that finger, you'll be asking yourself why she skipped that finger, is because here is more powerful, because there's a conjunction of acupressure points here, or some people call them meridian points, and it's There's a little channel between your ring finger and your baby finger, just here. You can see it on my hand, quite there. It's like a groove. I use three fingers is enough just to tap on there. There we go. But I'm not going to be using that today. So that is the basic points that we use in EFT tapping. So the next thing to do in tapping is to think about a specific problem that you want to work on. And for today, I would like you to think about something simple, nothing too complicated, just something simple. And the first thing that we do when we've thought about something simple, it could be like a simple stress or an anxiety, or maybe you've got a little bit of tension in the back of your neck or something like that. What we do is we scale it from 0 to 10. So 0 being actually it's not bothersome at all, and 10 being the worst that it could be. Now, I don't want you to pick something that's a 10. Try and pick something that's between, say, a 3 to a 7, so it's not too complicated. Now, you might be thinking, why do we scale it? And that's a really good question. It's so that you know where you're starting from and where you're going. So say you start at a 5, then that's great. When, after you've done your round of tapping, you'll be able to gauge where you are. So if it goes up higher, then you know, oh, there must be something else to do with this anxiety, because it's actually got a little bit worse. But it's fine if it gets worse, because then you know that you're going somewhere, something's happening, and you might be thinking about something else to do with the anxiety. Or it might go down to a 4 or a 3, and if that happens, then that's great. It means that it's working, and it's working for you. So the next thing that we need to do is our setup statement. So thinking about that really minor anxiety that you have, or the little bit of physical tension that you might have in your shoulders or anywhere else in your body, you need to then think about how it makes you feel. But we're going to keep this really, really simple, and I'm just going to be saying, even though I have this stress, and you can fill in your own thing, even though I have this stress, I completely love, accept, and respect myself. And we do that 3 times while tapping the side of the hand. So it's, even though I have this stress, I completely love, respect, and accept myself. 3 times that we do that. And you might be thinking, why are we thinking about something negative? And the reason that we think about something negative and we concentrate and focus in on the one thing is because at any time we can have hundreds and hundreds of negative thoughts flying through our brains. And so when we focus in on that one thing, it kind of brings it to the forefront of our mind, and we become mindful of it. And then we can see where it changes and how we feel about it at the end of the tapping process. So I would like to say something about the tapping process, because a lot of people will think, hey, that looks really, really strange. Why is that person hitting themselves like that? Well, there are 2 very good reasons for it. So when you touch your skin, imagine giving someone a hug. You release a hormone called oxytocin, which is our love hormone or our happy hormone. And another reason, when you imagine you fall and you hurt your knee, the first thing you'll do is you'll hold it. And when you do this, you release another hormone called endorphins. So imagine releasing those 2 very powerful hormones while we're tapping. Now, as promised, we are going to go through a simple tapping demonstration. And I don't know if you remember at the beginning of the video, we talked about what EFT was and where it came from and its benefits. We looked at the hormones that are really beneficial. We saw the tapping points that we used. We thought about the scaling system so that we know where we start from and where we're going. And we also looked at the setup statement as well. Now, when we go through the actual tapping points, we also have a simple reminder phrase as well. So just follow along with me. You can't go wrong. And what I would like you to do now is just think about that minor stress that you'll have. So for me, I've got a minor stress and it's a 5. So that's nice and simple for me. So you think about your stress, or maybe a physical symptom that you have that's not very high, that's just kind of in the middle, no more than 7, please. And what I would like you to do is just take a breath in through the nose and let it out through the mouth. Nice long breath. And in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time now, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And think about that stress, and think about the scale from 0 to 10 and where you might be. I'm a number 5. And I would like you to just get your side of hand using the flat of your other hand, and you can use any side of the body. You can use this hand or this hand. Even though I have the stress, I completely love, respect, and accept myself. Even though I have this stress, I completely love, respect, and accept myself. Even though I have this stress, I completely love, respect, and accept myself. So now we're going on to the simple reminder phrase. This stress, 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 this stress. Take a breath in, let it out through your mouth, and now notice how you feel. Think about your scale. Has it changed? Has it went up? Has it went down? I'm hoping that it's went down for you. So that is a simple tapping demonstration, and what you would do is keep repeating it until whatever it is that's bothering you goes down and down and down that scale. And you don't need to get to 0, that isn't the point, just as long as you feel more neutral about it. Thanks for watching.